following show contains adult content. It's not our intent to offend anyone, but we want to inform you that if you are a child under the age of 18 or get offended easily, this next show may not be for you. The content, opinions, and subject matter of these shows are solely the choice of your show hosts and their guests, and not those of the Entertainment Network or any affiliated stations. Any comments or inquiries should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for listening.
Hola, what's happening?
What's going on? How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, man. Just living this Ohio dream, whatever. It's like raining, sunny. Like, I don't know, man. I'm kind of over it, frankly. What's going on with you?
You know, weather. Everybody's over it. Definitely. Yeah.
Yes. Right.
I'm living the Missouri weather, so it's kind of the same, kind of not. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm loving the digs. All the knick-knack, paddywhack on the door, on the wall right there.
All right. So to fill everybody in, I have obtained Grandma's house. So, you know, this is Grandma's house.
Yep. Knickknacks, too. Yeah.
There's so much retro and old stuff in this house. It's unreal. Like, I found this, this old Zippo lighter. I'm finding all kinds of just old stuff that's valuable and just really cool. And really
I'm admiring the lampshade above your head right there. The vintage lampshade. Like,
you have no clue. This is just a small portion of Grandma's house.
That's great. That's great. So other than that, Grandma's house is good, huh?
Oh yeah, we're on the side of a mountain. Up in the Ozark Mountains. Beautiful. The only thing I have to complain about is the goddamn ticks. Oh, there's ticks everywhere.
Are they bad?
They're so bad.
I heard they're huge out there.
It's a real deal. I tell you. My poor dog. I'm picking them off of her every day. The kids, at least 3 a day. We've sprayed for them, but they're still around. Ticks are no fun. And then, so here's the thing. I go online and I look up some like tick prevention. And they're like, tick prevention and whatnot. And they're like, if you find a tick, put it in a plastic bag and take it to your doctor immediately. And they're so like extravagant on it, you know? And I'm like, dude, I'm living with ticks every day. We don't take him to the doctor. That's not a thing. Why does the internet push this false information? Just another part of false information on the internet. It's crazy.
It's still alive in the bag. Look. Fresh off my kid's forehead. Like, you never know the struggle until you see it up close.
What's up, zombie? Hey, if you're in the chat, drop a comment. Let us know you're here.
Mr. Jimmy D. Moore, what's going on, sir? Welcome. Zombie chat, thanks.
Yeah. So let's talk some music. Let's talk what's happening tonight. We've got Of Two Stones coming on tonight very soon. We got Jason and Jay in the green room waiting. They're drinking up all the pretend tequila.
I brought mine with me.
I did too.
Okay, right on. Oh, hey, that's the peach. I was like, hey, girl, hey, that's the peach. Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
You got to have something when you're out here in the boonies.
All right, I get you. So we got Of Two Stones tonight, man. And first, I want to give a shout out to Mr. Adam Sines, by the way, who did the photography for these dudes. And great dude, great people. You know, it really showcases. There's like a in your end. It sounds like chattering teeth.
All right.
Is it on your end?
I don't hear it, so.
I don't know. It's weird.
Okay, keep talking and I'll fix it.
Yeah, I'm like trying to address it. Yeah, I'm like pinpointing it. So, you know, the funny thing about like locals is you never realize like how many locals it takes. It really does take a village, you know. So it's like local photographers, local producers, and I think some of the mainstream has gotten to the point where, like, oh, if I can go out and pay for somebody to do it across wherever, then that's fine. But I tend to try to remind them, like, look, there are some creative motherfuckers right here around the corner. If you just take some time and invest in that idea, you should be pretty good.
That's totally correct, because they're the professionals in it, right? They're the professionals. They know what they're doing. They know how to tell you what to do with what their product might be.
Mm-hmm.
And they're professionals. So why not go to them?
I love the old school feel that we have today, man. Of Two Stones, these guys, I takes me back to like my younger years in metal and rock. When you would sit next to the big huge speakers on your stereo, whatever you have. Back when I was young, it was a Sony little boombox thingy. And you just get as close to the speaker as you can so you can absorb every piece of it. And I think that is something that of Two Stones, I think if you get a chance to not only listen to them, like, I encourage you to listen to them and maybe then go see them live, or even see them live and then listen to music. But I think listening to a band before you see them fully opens your mind to the possibility of what you could be or could not be seeing when you go there. I don't know. Maybe I'm just crazy.
No, you're not. And Up Two Stones, I've seen them before, so I can totally validate that statement. And knowing what you're about to get into, and once you get there, and it opens up different realms of music, and ideas and the feelings and the emotions. They're all there for sure. And definitely listening to a band before seeing them live can be very eye-opening.
I realize that is a very hard topic, because not always can you do that. Not every band has it set to where they can do that, to provide music before you go see them live. I don't know. So, it's 50-50, but if you have the opportunity, man, definitely open your ear holes and then, check out your eyes and your ears. I don't know. It's just food for thought. Somebody who loves music too.
Yeah. I think that there's always a little bit of protocol involved with music, and you have to give them the chance. You can't just say, if somebody says, "Hey, listen to this," okay, and you're like, whatever.
I know we don't talk about it. I know we don't talk about it on the show, but reality is that the pandemic really showed people either what you really can do or what you really can't do.
Exactly. Good point.
And I think, as much as people bitch about the pandemic and this and that and like, it really, to me, from a media standpoint, showed me who had testicular fortitude and who was just sitting on their hands the whole time before the pandemic.
Yeah.
Like, that really showed me, of like all the people that I know, like what's really what.
I literally watched several bands, just collapse in that time frame, that 2-year time frame. They collapsed. They gave up. They couldn't fit in. They couldn't find their way. And then there's bands that are still here and they're sticking strong.
One of my best friends from high school has been in the same band for 25 years back home, and they ended because of their beliefs on what's what. And I'm not going to get into that here. I'm going to just say, you have to be able, if you want to be successful, you have to check some of that shit at the door. Like, I mean, don't you? I mean, I feel like you shouldn't be stringing your guitar debating on how you feel about blah, blah, blah. Like, if you go to your job is 9 to 3:30, and your job is to stamp license plates. Just an example, not sarcasm, smart ass, nothing. If you're there to punch license plates from 9 to 3:30, then at 3:31 we can be friends. Like, I have a job to do. Just like when you go to a bar, you're a band, you have a job to do. You show up, you do your job, you go home. It's just kind of one of those things. And I feel like some people get wrapped up in the idea of, well, I need to do this. No, you want to do that. What you need to do, and so I think the want versus the need kind of gets lost. And I think since the pandemic's been over, people have seen other people succeed in other things. And they're like, oh, and I want to do that. How do I do that? And it forced people to collaborate because you're no longer getting that information on how to do streaming and how to do this and that from other places. You're getting it from actual people, actual musicians, actual people that are doing it. A lot of my photography friends who couldn't get gigs turned to NFTs, turned a lot of their work into NFTs.
That's a crazy world out with the NFTs. That's a whole other realm.
Like I'm just going to hire somebody to do my Bitcoin for me and I'll split the percentage with
you. But the thing is that they're reaching out and learning and they're finding those alternative paths to be successful. And did all of you, can you all of you say that you tried every option that you had, or did you sit there and just let it collapse?
Right.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
So with tonight, we've got Of Two Stones and they're so headstrong and they're so powerful and they're out there in the field still burning it up, man. Burning it up. And tonight we got Jason and Jay with us. We might have a third one with us. I'm not sure, but we're going to bring them on right now. So here's Jason and here's Jay.
What's up, guys? How you doing?
So
how you guys doing?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Glad to be on the show.
I know you guys were in the green room kind of chopping it up, kind of listening to everything, man. Did you guys want to weigh in on some of the topics we were touching on a little bit there?
I mean, just when you were talking about bands that kind of lost it through COVID, we were fortunate to not be one of those bands. And the thing that kind of hit me, you're saying people have to do this or they want to do that or want to do that. I think the thing that kept us all together is just we all like music. We all like one another. Tom and Jay go back 3 decades with one another. We're all from the same area. We've all played with one another at one point in time in our lives, played in other bands that gig with one another. So it just kind of meant more for us just to keep playing with each other than any of the other stuff, and figured, society would work itself out. We just needed to keep doing our thing.
Right on.
Yeah.
You say society works itself out. That's a funny statement. I like that. Go ahead, Jay.
Yeah, there were so many things that, like you guys mentioned before, that could have sent us into, the bin of bands that used to be. We went through a whole lot of. I had a heart attack. I had open heart surgery in the middle of all this. There was just a lot of stuff that went on, and that's minor amongst them, honestly, as it relates to our band. We care about what we do, we care about each other, and mostly for me, I know I can speak for these guys too. It's about the music. It's when we're together playing the music that I can get that nowhere else. There's no other group of dudes that I've played with in my life, and hell, I'm old. I'm 60 this year. I've played with a lot of people. What I feel when I play with Of Two Stones is different. Ask Adam took our photos. I make so many ugly, funky faces on stage. It's just if you stopped and asked me what my name was, I would have to. If in the middle of a performance, if you asked me what my name was, I'd have to stop and think about it because it's and I only get that one place, and that's on the stage with the 3 guys I play with now. That's it. It exists for me nowhere else.
You're talking.
I think that was the driving force to keep us on the path through all this 2 years of bullshit we just went through.
Amen.
So you're talking about leaving it all on the stage, Jay. Is basically what you're saying.
Yeah.
Is that every night you guys, every night you can look forward to seeing Of Two Stones. You can leave your blood and guts on the stage every time.
As long as shitty promoters don't cut our set short. Yeah, you goddamn right.
Fuck you, Kevorkian. Fuck you,
Sorry.
We went there. We just went there.
Well, I mean, Roxy, you and I had that talk, and I'm not trying to air in any kind of personal business, but we never got told the bank was closed because I ain't putting my band in that position, number one, period. Fuck that. But we don't do this shit for the money. We do this shit for the stage time. We want people to hear what we have to do. You know what I'm saying? There is no money to be made in downloading singles. There is no money to be made in pushing CDs, because why is somebody going to buy something they can stream for free? And if you want to come stream my stuff for free, do it, man. Because back in the 80s, I was ripping stuff on cassette tape off of the radio. I was ripping stuff off of my buddies' cassette tapes. When CDs came, we figured out how to burn them. Burn my shit. Take it for free. I don't care. Just throw horns up and rock.
Spread it to the world.
For real. You know what I'm saying?
Anti-skip, motherfucker.
Yeah, I mean, for real. So you will get everything we got to go. As long as you don't cut us off, man, we're ready to go. So,
yeah, we don't do it for money. We do it for stage time in front of people that are into what we do. And again,
and self-expression.
Nowhere else.
Yeah, self-expression too, man. It's a great creative outlet to have, to be able to write music, especially the caliber of music that Tom brings to the table. That we all add on top of that to become the one sound that we are, man. Like Jay said, that alone was like, there's no way we're giving none of this up. And we were trucking when COVID hit. We had just placed third for Ripper Radio Band of the Year. We were on the Band of the Year show up in Mansfield.
Shout out to Brian, by the way. Brian.
Yeah, shout out Brian Dirk. Yeah, I mean, he's still doing his thing up there, man, for real. And I think Divine Eminence ended up winning it that year. Our dude Tony on West Side Columbus. What's up, Tony? Yeah. And the guys in Cryptic ended up, I think, placing up there too. I can't remember who the other bands. But anyway, yeah, I mean, everything was rolling. We had shows booked up through June, and then just everything got cut. Got lucky, got on a bill down in Dayton, and opened up for Saliva. It was like one of the few weeks they opened Mod Bodies up. We packed that place. They shut it down the next day. So
yeah, we made the paper.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yes, I remember
she remembers, yeah. So I mean,
we were on Dayton News.
Yeah, dude, we were anywhere Dayton would have us, basements, garages. We didn't care. We just played and did our thing. We never let it slow us down. And then when everything kind of finally came to a crushing halt, luckily we got our own studio in the practice room. We got a studio here where I'm at in my house. So we were able to just go ahead and woodshed and really start doing these songs right, releasing singles with the plan of every 6 weeks, every 8 weeks, just to keep new stuff viable in front of people. Like you said, this is old school kind of stuff. It should be meant to be on an album. It should be meant to be put on and then flipped in a half hour and listen to the rest of the record. But that's just not the times that we're in anymore. So take them one hook at a time, man, as long as everybody keeps them coming. So everybody wants to hear them, we'll keep releasing.
You mentioned, I think really honestly, the promoter title has gotten so thin because now the promoters really have to do their job.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
They can't just throw a title in front of it because now there's expectation.
Yep.
Or I'm a promoter. I'm a photographer. Yeah. I got an Android phone.
I got a certificate. Look.
Yeah.
It says I'm a promoter.
Let me tell you, I was about to step into that territory, and I saw the details involved, and it's a very, very detail-oriented business.
To do it right, absolutely.
Yeah, to do it right, there's a lot more involved than just putting a band on a stage.
No, yeah.
That's the easy part of it.
So, give your promoters respect. Although I gotta say that there are some that they don't deserve the respect. Yes,
I badmouth very few people. That son of a bitch can pack sand.
Yeah. Well, like I said, Tony Montana rules apply. I ain't never fucked over anybody who ain't had it coming to him. So,
right. No, when you look at where we're at and where we're going, like it's right in your face. This isn't something that is not known. The reality of how hard it is and what you have to do. And
we call it the devil we know. Dealing with the devil we know.
Yes,
we do it all the time. That's part of what it is, man.
It is shown through your music. When you guys perform and stuff like that, I went through and did some social media looking and snooping a little bit around on social media, man, and the fans really dig you guys too. So
Thank you.
It's two ways. We love everybody that comes to see us.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, like lots of fan photos, lots of support, lots of people out there that, ordinarily by all rights may not have come out for something else, and saw you and was like, fuck yeah, like, let's go.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. That's like a really loyal, concrete fan base.
Well, yeah. And to expand on that a little bit and touch on something Jay said earlier, Jay's 60. He's 60. Tom's in his 50s. I'm in my 40s. Colin's in his 30s. So 3 of the 4 of us are just old men. You know what I mean? That already have professional lives that are just doing this because we love it. You know what I mean? We've been in the scene for a long, long time. We don't have that. Hey, all my college frat friends come out and fill this joint. All of our friends have kids, soccer games, things like that. So they don't come out to see us often. Now, we do have some hardcore motherfucking throw 'em up metalheads from North Lewisburg, Ohio. North Lewisburg and LB that are always going to be there. You know what I'm saying? But most of our fans, that is an organic fan base that we've built from playing down in Cincinnati, playing in Dayton. We're 20 minutes from Columbus, but if anybody asks us, Roxy tell you we're from Dayton, Ohio.
Dayton's got the metal. Dayton is metal.
Dude, nothing but love for Dayton, Ohio. Everybody down there. I can't reiterate that enough. Because Columbus is a hard place to be from.
Hey, I gotta shout this out because it's Dayton, Ohio, and it's Mark Holman's birthday, so I gotta do a shout out.
Shit!
Yeah, Holman, happy motherfucking birthday!
Oh yeah, Mark's our dude. He's kind of the dude that actually brought us in and said, "Man, you know what? Dayton's really going to dig what you're doing." And he was right. Like I said, we've had a hard time. I don't want to say hard time, but gaining traction in Columbus has been a challenge for us. Cincinnati was no problem. Dayton was no problem. But Columbus has been a challenge, and it's disheartening because it's right, you know what I mean, right down the road from our hometown. But we have no place that opened up here in Marysville where we all live at. It's called Sharky's, and we're actually doing a show with Desolate up here in July. So it's going to be nice to bring some of our buddies from down that way in the Miami Valley scene up here with us and really just the cops are going to get called. It's going to be too loud. Everybody's already saying, you thought we were loud. Wait till you see up to stand. We already know that. Everybody else already knows that. So we're just kind of playing. So that's what's up. So so we're glad to have that here. We're hoping that kind of brings a little bit of traction to Marysville, hoping that gets other bands that want to come this way, you know what I'm saying, and interest them in playing shows with us. We don't have any problems with that with all of our metal family down in Dayton, but trying to hook these guys up in the Columbus area to do gigs has been a challenge. So,
I gotta be proud to be with Antman because we've been conversing with this and trying to make things happen. So,
I appreciate that.
I really could. Like on this show, I really could. It'd be so easy.
He says, I could go there." Don't, because everybody loves you. Don't. You just told me everything I needed to hear, bro. Everything for real. Don't even worry about it. Good looking out, because I've been waiting for a motherfucker to tell me what's up, and you just did. Thank you.
The thing
from the bottom of my heart.
We discuss it at length quite often.
You don't even know, dude. You don't even know.
I want to just reiterate facts from fiction. A lot of the problems that are happening in the Columbus music scene are problems that are easily solved. And it takes a matter of somebody to stand up and just, like I said earlier during the show, do your job. Don't do anything other than your job.
And do it right.
And for the club owners, I want to just point this out. For the club owners, you can't flood local artists in with big names and not expect locals to feel like they're not getting love.
Yeah, and don't give them a 3-4 song set and just
you got however many bands. This flyer is this big, and you got 3 locals that are on your thing, and they're this big right here. You can't do that, man. You can't. And I don't, I don't know, dude. I just can't. It's the same with promoters, man. I can't the word promoter. Like, dude.
Diluted.
Yeah.
Right. So
It's like terrestrial radio, man. Like,
The thing about that bugs me the most is I spent my time back in the day in that scene. Tom spent his time. Jason spent his time in that scene back in the day. We earned our stripes, and we're hearing from certain people, well, you guys don't come down and see us. You're not on the scene. You know, sorry, dude. I was doing it when you were shitting green. Okay.
Yeah. Well, not only that, but show up and still same thing. So at that point in time, not trying to go there, but just it's what is it? And you just hit it right on.
I mean, it's frustrating, you know. I'm not a musician, I'm not an artist, but it's my job to sit on this side of the fence. And if you believe in your music enough to send it to me to play, then I should believe in it enough to get behind it and play it, support you.
If you believe in it, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, and the equal side of that is we're musicians and not hustlers. Well, in our own right, musically speaking, if you will, because we have professional jobs define hustler. But that's what you need is, you know, I heard you say last week, street team. I was like, oh my God, where are those guys at? Where are those dudes that are going to take that $50 ticket for putting my sticker up on, you know what I mean? That doesn't exist anymore. And you're either soliciting everybody's inbox to the point where they want to unfollow you. And it just, I don't have that in me. It's just I would rather focus on just making music and throwing it out like a trout line. And if we come and there's food the next day, great. And if not, then here's more trout lines to throw out. Because like I said, it's not about money. It's not about, we're all old and established. It ain't about making it big at this point in time. We just want to rock out, man. I think that's missing a lot too. A lot of motherfuckers try to be this, try to be that. Man, just be your damn self. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't have any influences, then find some. Yeah. Find some.
You never get confused if you're yourself all the time.
Yeah,
you never get confused as to who you're supposed to be if you're you all the time.
For real.
Do please remember too that business is business sometimes, but know when people are trying to take advantage of you, and know when they're trying to steal your money or steal your spotlight or whatever that may be. But you got to know the difference. You got to be a solid band there and dedicated to your music, because we all know that there's so much going on and so much to do, and things, there's going to be people that bring us down. There's going to be venues that corrupt us or people that talk shit and whatnot, but you got to keep doing. You got to keep going.
Your team has to believe in it more than you.
Yeah.
Because they have to be able to carry you on the days you're like, fuck this. I don't want to fucking do this. Fuck you. I don't want to. No.
Yeah.
I don't want to, you know, like we all, like, being real right here, all of us wearing pants in the room.
Oh.
Some of us who aren't. But, like, you know, the reality of it is, man, is like we work really hard, and it's really important that everybody on the same page sometimes believes a little more than you, because you might need that kick in the ass. Just like every once in a while, you know, I've kind of been in one in the last couple of weeks, you know, and it's kind of like I got my ass kicked to me the other day. So it's like, it's nice, you know, to be able to have that squad to kick you in the face.
Yeah. Everybody crawls through their shit pipe, man. You just got to get to the end, bro.
Right. So breaking it down, what are you guys getting ready to do? What is your biggest goal for this summer? Because things are heating up.
We've got a couple shows in the works, doing a big show down in Dayton, doing a show here in Marysville. Honestly, man, woodshedding. We're writing new material. We are learning a bunch of covers because we want to generate more subscribers to our YouTube page, just like you guys. And if people don't know the names of our songs, or they don't know our songs, we're going to have to get some stuff up there that they do know. And we have the luxury of having a studio in our jam room, like I said, and got one here too. So I think we're going to record some of these covers, throw them up on YouTube, and generate some followers that way. It's not your run of the mill.
Wow.
Yeah, not your run of the mill.
The covers we're doing
man.
are going to freak people out.
We're because like I said, we're old. So
I love when people can take a cover and make it their own and put it in their style. I love that.
Yeah. Multiple decades was the goal, picking 3 songs from each decade where we kind of starting the 70s, 80s, 90s. We kind of drop off at 2000 because just the where we pretty much stopped listening to new stuff outside of Lamb of God. For myself, anyway. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? A couple hip hop artists, but it is what it is. So, but yeah, we want to get that up and published the way we figure by the time 2023 hits, everything should be re-solidified. All the bands that have been coming through, or your locals can get on and sell tickets to, your Salivas of the world will be going back on their individual smaller tours instead of pooling their resources together. This year is the way that they are to get things going back. So we're going to put as much media out there. That way people have access to hear exactly what we are, exactly who we are, and then just keep trucking through 2023.
It's always something to be done, right? And
yeah.
I mean, it's what we do. We don't slack. We get it done. Yep. That's why you guys are still banned, still going strong, still trucking, right?
Yeah, we always doing something, man. Always doing something. And if we ain't got anything to do, Tom shows up and he's like, "Hey, man, I got these like 10 different parts of this new song, and whew, look out, man."
That's the way they all start.
Yeah,
Tom
that's the way they all. I wish Tom would have been in on this. Yeah, I wish Tom would have been in on this, man. Can't give that guy enough credit. Some of the stuff is a mix of some stuff that I wrote years ago, is a mix of some stuff that he wrote years ago. But like the last 5-6 songs that we've done have been a collective offering. It all starts with Tom. He comes in and he's kind of the engine that makes everything go. And then Colin kind of puts a beat to it. He's the transmission and the traction. And then Jay comes in and just waxes it with all kinds of shine and glossy paint and chrome. And I'm just lucky enough to get to drive this son of a bitch. So...
Truth be told. So I want to go to influences, because you bring in a lot to your music. You have so much to offer. And I listen to all your songs and I'm thinking, I hear this, I hear this, I hear this. Staying original, you guys definitely stay original. But can we talk about some influences?
Sure. Jay, go ahead, man.
I'm being the oldest guy in the band. My influences reach a little deeper than some. That doesn't mean if you're young you can't go back, but I grew up with Motown music. I also grew up one side of my family with shit kicking music, great musicians. All around one side of my family, I listened to classical music, and the other side was the shit kicking side. My aunt was only 10 years older than me. So when I was 7 and 8, she was 17 and 18. And when I went to hang out, I was in Aunt Nancy's room listening to her stuff, and that's what really took me to music. The old Motown, the early days of the heavier rock. When I first heard Sabbath like a week after that album came out, scared the shit out of me. I heard the song Black Sabbath. It freaked me the fuck out. I went running out of that bedroom. Oh, what the fuck is that? It touched me. It stayed with me. It was okay. I want to hear it. Scared me. I want to hear it again because it did something to me.
It was definitely fundamental in my life too.
Yeah, mine was more.
Anything that moves me sticks with me.
Yeah, I agree.
I had a lot of. When you're younger, you got to be cool. You can't like certain stuff. I love fucking Motown. I grew up in mid-Ohio, Marysville, Ohio. If you weren't listening to heavy shit, you pussy, that was the prevailing thought. You had to listen to certain bands. I did, but I also had stuff I didn't listen to in front of my friends, Right. It's like a moped. They're fun to ride, but you don't want your friends to see you on one.
We got a question.
Same thing with music.
We do.
Question for your guests. Can you tell a little bit about the meaning of the band's name of Two Stone?
Tom and I were sitting.
That's you, Jace.
Tom and I were sitting in a garage because there was a point in time where this all kind of fell apart, and Tom and I were keeping it together with a sampler. Believe it or not, we actually got some run on Blitz local stuff with that shit too. Still can't believe that. But anyway, we're sitting around trying to figure out what to call the band, and we were kind of laughing about how all the band names nowadays sound like old book titles, you know what I mean? So, in this moment, whatever. So we're like, Tom's like, well, what about Up Two Stones? Just a bunch of old stoners. And I was like, it fucking goes, man. There it is. So, and it stuck.
Oh, wow.
True story.
I love it.
Yeah.
fucking beautiful.
Yeah. But back to influences, man. Like I said, I grew up with beatnik hippies as parents, so I grew up on classic rock, QFM 96, polluted my airwaves. Fell in love with hip hop at an early age, Dougie Fresh, stuff like that. Run DMC, yeah. So I have a huge hip hop influence. A lot of people don't know. Thrash metal.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, love 80s thrash metal is my sweet spot without a doubt. Pantera to me is the pinnacle. It gets no better. I don't care what anybody else has to say, but to me that's
Nobody.
That's what metal's supposed to sound like. So yeah. So
Greg Hair says long time to chat.
Huge hip hop influence on myself. And still to this day, the new music that I listen to, you'll catch me listen to new hip hop before I do any kind of new metal or anything like that.
Look, I encourage anybody who listens to this show or anybody out there, you hear my voice, listen to something you've never listened to before.
Yeah, man.
I want to ask you, have you heard of Ghostmane? Have you heard Ghostmane? Anybody? Yeah. No? Like, I just got introduced to them, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Dude, when I got hip to Hail Mary Mallon and Aesop Rock and those guys that are from the Rhyme Sayers up in the Minneapolis community and just realized what they did by themselves, I was like, I respect the fuck out of that. You know what I'm saying? Because not everybody knows who they are, but that stuff is just liquid gold if you listen to it.
Yeah. Yeah. And you think about, like, all the things that were heard and were nothing, but something was spun off of something and spun off of this and spun off of that.
Yeah.
And spun off, like, you know, people are like, I love the millennials, man. The ones who don't know how to use rotary phones. You walk up and you're like, listen, I
got one back here.
Yeah.
Manual transmission.
Thanks, Grandma.
Can't drive a stick shift.
You know, like I just, you know, like the millennials are screwed, man. When it comes to music, you know, like the whole hard work. If the world got an EMP right now, I know some real musicians could make it work.
Nobody would make it work.
But the millennials,
I got hands on a wall.
Oh man, it's sad.
You know, like if everything just shut down today, I would be fine.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I got no issues.
Yeah.
I'm waiting. I'm like, yes.
Matter of fact, first thing I'd probably do is walk down the street to Jay's house, say, hey, there's no electric, man. Let's go fishing.
We will make it through.
Yeah, man.
No issue.
Yeah, man.
Right.
I've got hand crank generators.
I got the pond out front. Y'all are welcome.
Cool.
Oh. Be careful. You got mushrooms in Missouri too.
Oh, I got a lot. Yeah. Mushrooms, ponds, everything. Yeah, it's great. Come on out.
Talking my language.
That's another thing. I'm going to start a music scene here. You watch and wait.
Bring us. We'll come
play.
If
you put in a festival, I got plenty of vacation time, Rox.
We will come play.
We will represent you correctly, that I promise.
We should just take all the bands and everybody that we've ever had on the show. We should just create a bill and put everybody that we've ever had.
Let us know. We're in.
RA Fest.
RA Fest. Yes.
Why not? Everybody else has one.
Hey, promote it.
Greg says he can elaborate so much on this. Mr. Greg.
We done. Oh shit! Everybody's gonna be talking about your show tomorrow, Antman. What'd you do?
Yeah.
What'd you go do?
Like, nothing but honesty, baby. Nothing but honesty.
No, I can't. I appreciate you having us on, man. Like I said, I haven't really had a chance to formally catch up with you in the scene, but have with Rox. So, man, it's really been cool sitting down and talking with you tonight.
Yeah, man, absolutely. You know, like I don't know, dude. You know, you can't. Will Smith always said it best. You know, like if you can't ride in my car when it's dirty, you're not gonna ride in it when it's clean.
Yeah, man.
And I've worked really hard for my brand and to support local people, man, and put my name on stuff too. And so like when I stand behind bands like you guys and Rachel and everybody out there, like it's blood, you know, blood in, blood out kind of thing. You know,
that's what family is, bro. I appreciate that.
Yeah. So, you know, it's important to me that every person hears my voice or touches anything that I meet or work with, you know, like it's taken seriously. So you guys are absolutely a class act, man. And
I appreciate that.
I look forward to seeing you guys on a bunch of festivals. And after tonight, I'm going to link you up with some of my people in my portfolio and kind of get you guys rolling in some festivals for the summer.
Appreciate you, bro.
Dude.
Really do, man. Good looking out. We'll not let you down.
Yeah, so I'll open up my Rolodex for you guys after the show, or tonight
Appreciate
or tomorrow.
that.
We'll get together and talk more.
Much love, bro. Much love.
We got a brand new song for you motherfuckers, though, don't we?
Yes, this drops.
Ant-Man. Yes, wait. I have to, because somebody asked me about this. So Ant-Man, you have to go and tell about a little bit of your influences as well, because somebody asked about that. And then we're gonna move on to Of Two Stones' new drop.
I'm going to have to relocate because my phone's going to die, so I got to plug this thing in. So while we're doing that, yeah.
What are we talking?
You do that, Ant-Man. Tell us a little bit about your influences, because somebody had asked about that.
Where? Where did they ask that? Did I miss it?
Right here.
Oh, okay.
Ant-Man's influences is Of Two Stones.
You know, so all of my influences, man, I don't really have musical influences because I'm not a musician. I'm not an artist. So my dad was a huge. I'm not wearing pants.
Right.
I'm not wearing no pants. That means you are wearing pants.
No, my biggest influences, man, honestly, were my dad. My dad was Vietnam vet. And so a lot of the music that I was subject to on vinyl growing up was very, War, Creedence Clearwater Revival, yeah, right, exactly. My dad, he I don't know, great dude, man, and I have him here with me in the studio every show. He sits right here in the desk with me. He's my influence. When I found music, it was because of him. When I remember my youngest years of music, I remember my dad being in an office kind of similar to the studio I have set up. Like my desk is iconically set up the same way my dad's was when I was little, from my memory, from what I remember when I was a kid. And my dad had the long, huge spiral headphones to the receiver, the Sony receiver with the big box fucking speakers that these kids today don't know a shit thing about. Like, and it was one of those 24-foot long, stretched out, stretched.
And you're getting it around the corner.
His cans were on his head, and I could hear from outside the office door, I could hear my dad. The music was so loud in my dad's headphones, I could hear it through the office door. And every time I would open up the door, my dad is just like, wow. Like going hard on like air guitar, like air drumming, like all of it. And I was like, man, like what? Like my dad doesn't get really excited. He's a Vietnam vet. He doesn't get excited about shit. Like, what is this? And I didn't ask for permission. I found his vinyl collection, and the first vinyl that I remember opening, like visually, I was like 5 years old. I could open my eye, close my eyes and see it. I opened it up, and it was the Beatles anthology album with the green apple with the letter on the apple. That was the first vinyl I ever touched. The first vinyl I ever sat down and listened to, front to back, sideways, scratched it, played it, blah, 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 was Ted Nugent's Cat Scratch Fever, Wango Tango, I believe.
Mine was The Wall.
I heard Stranglehold.
Double Live Gonzo covers it all.
Yeah. I heard Stranglehold for the first time at 6 years old. It touched me. It touched me, and I don't know what, that's all I can say. And from that moment on, man, it was balls to the wall. Like whatever, however, hip hop, R&B, like I'm from Michigan. So like Detroit's like in my blood, no matter what. And
right on, man.
So like, I'm a big believer. You have to know where you've been to know where you're going. So I went back and looked at all the music that come from just about everywhere. And I love what I do. Like I genuinely love the music part of what I do. And that is why I get so upset about promoters and club owners and people fucking over hardworking bands and photographers, people just like, if you're in the music industry, if you can spell the word music and you've been fucked, you deserve to have a successful chance at some point.
Right.
Unless you're that piece of shit. And if you're that piece of shit on a piece of shit, that's a piece of shit on another piece of shit, then you don't need to be supported.
Right.
But I don't think we hold enough people accountable for how shitty they are, because they offer us something over here and it makes you distracted. Oh, cool. Well, maybe they're not so bad.
No,
and then you go over there, and then you're like, oh, I got fucked.
Society makes it an okay thing for them. Society is like, oh, well, give them a chance. They've got a voice, and they have to speak too. But what if their voice isn't right?
Yeah.
Like, at the end of the day, man, half the world wakes up thinking how they're gonna fuck the other half of the world out of everything they got, and that's just reality.
Yeah. You want to know my influence? My influence is you. Get out there and do something yourself. Make something happen for yourself. You are an example, no matter what, whether it's good, bad, the ugly. It's up to you. If you don't like being stereotypes, don't live up to your stereotype.
Right.
Yep.
Create your own image. Do for your own good.
But I don't want to take too much of that. So I apologize. I didn't mean to rant. Sorry.
Nuh-uh, man. You're cool.
I loved it.
Good to know stuff.
So now on the flow.
Yeah, so this new song, man, I want you guys to tell me about it. What was this process like when you guys sat down to put this together?
Actually, man, like I said, some of our stuff was a mixture of some stuff I did, some stuff Tom did, and then the rest of it's what we did together. This is actually one that I wrote 20 years ago, bro. And just that was my philosophy at the world. Went through more than my fair share of shit in life, you know what I mean? And kind of like you just said, I don't really like hearing the people that want to whine and cry. My dad was a kick me in the ass kind of guy, and ain't no room for crying in baseball, you know what I'm saying? So just that, everybody's got their opinion about me, and kind of like was my fuck you to the world about 20 years ago, and just Timeless Music Transcends. I brought it to the table. Tom was like, dude, we're doing that. He rewrote the lead part, and there it is, dude. So yeah, not a lot to say about this song in particular. I tell everybody all the time, it's one for the old heads, because it's got that old feel to it, you know what I mean? A lot of our music is very progressive, multiple parts, things like this. This is just some straightforward, throw your hands up, fuck rock out. It comes out next Tuesday, so this is the first, outside of, just leaked emails that we send to friends or whatnot, this is the first anybody's hearing it, so.
Nice. Wow. So what's it called? And
My Act is Aggression is the name of the song.
All right.
Okay. Right on. I was reading the abbreviation, the MAIA in the email. I was like, I'm not saying that first.
Yeah, the opening lyrics, man. I'm a little bit hard to understand sometime on the mic, but it's just self-said. My act is aggression, sometimes offensive. Aggravation is all I've ever known. So.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to ride that boat with you, buddy. All right, guys, brand new stuff right here. RA Nation, Of Two Stones. Oh, baby. Buckle up.
Aggravation is all I've ever known. I dream hate when I sleep and I breathe while I'm awake. Aggravation is all I've ever known. Thoughts of anger enter my head. Speak the truth and I won't be misled. Don't care if you judge me thinking I'm dead. Cause aggression inside makes me what I've been. Makes me what I've been. Relying only on things who can't be fine. Accept the life I've been handed to me. Kick shit and not enough keep pressing on. Because I've only got me when everyone else is dead and gone. Dead and gone. Thoughts of anger enter my head. Think of something I won't be this one. Don't care if you judge me thinking I'm dead. Cause aggression inside makes me what I've been. If you would have been. Thoughts of anger enter my head. Think of truth that I won't be misled. Don't care if you judge me thinking I did. Cause aggression inside makes me what I've been. If you what I've been.
Yeah, of Two Stones, brand new stuff. Are a nation hanging out with you, motherfuckers. What's going on? Oh no, everybody's deaf. You muted everybody. Roxy, you're muted. Jay's muted too.
There we go.
You're
There
fired.
we go. Sorry.
Yeah, no, thanks for playing that, Antman. I really appreciate it. Drops next Tuesday. Get it on all your streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, blah, 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 blah.
Before we get out the
Facebook,
door, guys,
Spotify.
I want to ask you guys, what is one piece of advice you want to leave your viewers, your friends, your supporters, the people watching the show with?
Pretty much that the position that local bands are in, and this goes for everybody, all local bands out there in the same boat that we are. We are competing for your entertainment second. There are so many options out there, be it your phone, dinner, a show, wherever, people are going or whatever they're doing. It's never been more important to really just take a chance. If you haven't heard a band before, just check them out. You don't have anything to lose. You know what I mean? You're not out anything except your time. And man, I've seen all kinds of shows being out on the scene since 2018. Some have been fantastic. Some have been less than stellar. But I've never come away from a show not having a good time, except the double book at the Tree Bar. Fuck that. Never do that again. But outside of that, I mean, you know what I mean? Guys, go out for real and help these people. If your friend looks at you and says, I'm in a band, don't look at him and think it's a joke, man. Some of us, don't know anything different. Like I said, Jay's 60 years old. I'm 45. Tom's in his 50s. We don't know anything different. When Jay's 70, he's still going to be rocking metal riffs. It's not a phase. It's not you know what I mean? So, go out and listen to new music, people. For good God, it's one of the gifts that we're actually given in life is music, and nobody gets that. So go listen to what somebody has to say.
That can't be any more truer. Gosh, I love that. Thank you so much.
Good man.
Yeah, thanks, Greg, for the comments. Thank you, everybody, for dropping the comments.
Thank you guys
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, man.
Stick
Appreciate being
around
here.
in the green room for sure. Stick around in the green room. We'll talk to you after the show.
Yeah, we'll hang out.
Right on.
All right, so
Thanks,
go check
guys.
them out.
Thanks for everybody that tuned in too.
Yep, and go see them live in Dayton and Marysville and Cincy and soon Columbus. They're gonna be rocking your socks off. So remember that.
Make sure you wear pants because they frown upon that kind of thing.
Yeah, wear pants. Thank you.
Right.
Oh man, Antman. That brings me back when you were bringing up, Nugent and all that shit. That brings me back. I tell you.
Yeah, but what I didn't say was that now watching him and watching his Spirit Campfire stuff on social media, now I'm like, God, I wish I didn't know the person. You just want to know the music. You don't want to know it. Once you know somebody, you don't want to know them anymore.
I got to tell you a story. One day I'm walking around Ohio State Fair and I hear these girls going, Ted Nugget. Who's Ted Nugget? And I'm looking at like, what the hell? And I'm like, I know who this is. I'm going. So Nugent was at the state fair in Ohio, and I went there and I watched him with his bow and arrow. He put fire to the arrow and he shot it through Bin Laden's face, a cardboard face. And I'm like, wow. You know, just because he represents different things doesn't mean you can't listen to the music, because Nugent has always been phenomenal.
I agree, but there are some people that like take you so far out
on a journey.
Yeah, and you're like, I just want to come back. I'll give the shirt back. I will. Like, I'll give you the candy back. I'll give you the shirt back. Just let me off.
Man.
You know, but you know, there again, you know, you have to know where you've been and know where you're going.
Exactly.
And so, you know,
and you also got to be able to decipher, you know, what's altering your mind and what's not, and where you stand, where you don't, and what moves you and what doesn't. And music, I have to tell you guys my background. I was brought up classical. I started in a trumpet, and I was offered so many opportunities playing trumpet, playing classical, playing Beethoven, playing, you know, the songs that you have no idea what they are, but maybe you do, maybe you don't. I don't know. But that led me into the music I am into today, which music is therapy. And I've always said that. Music's therapy. So let it lead you where your heart goes. Follow your heart, follow the music, follow the journey.
Yeah, I would have never known. I've been sitting here doing this today. Like, I would have never known. I would have never known that I was going to be capable of getting 100,000 downloads on my podcast. I would never have known that if I was to go someplace locally in my community, my local scene, that somebody would recognize me and scream out, Antman, like, just from somewhere, like, you know. And it's those little things, man. Those, like, you know, you forget, you know, like, you forget what you're doing, how you're doing, what you're doing. Like, you know, you just, and then, I don't know, it was weird. Like,
yeah.
But
that's why I decided I needed to start something here in Missouri, because nobody knows me here.
Well, right. I mean, and that's that kind of thing where it's like you're gonna walk that thin line for a minute, you know, where it's like this new girl. Who's the new girl? Like, it doesn't matter what town you live in, where you move. Like, who's the new person trying to put together music? Like, that in itself will bring up.
But that's what I'm here for. I'm here to help those who are following their hearts and their passions. That's what I stand for, and I'll always have. And everybody who knows me knows that.
Man, it'd be fun. It'd be cool to build something from scratch. Keep the crap out of it, you know. I want to give a shout out though tonight before we get out the door, man, to my girl Gwen and my dude Greg for hanging out on Facebook and chatting it up, man. I appreciate y'all. And everybody, Ted, Zombie, Mia, everybody in the chat, thank you for coming and hanging out with us tonight. We really appreciate y'all.
Yeah, even Cheryl popped in, so thank you so much for we love all of you. Thank you for all your comments. Tune in next week. We've got nothing but greatness to offer you. We're here, and we love your comments. And being part of the show. So make sure you check out Up Two Stones on YouTube, Spotify, Facebook, and all those social media platforms. And be sure to follow Standout Serpents, because we're amazing. We're great. We're growing, and it's great. And also check out Music Familia Productions, because everything is great with them as well, with us. And Talk 4 Media and W4CY Productions. So you guys are amazing.
Another week in the bag. Have a good week, weekend, all of that fun jazz. We love you guys.
We love you. Later.